What's up, y'all? My name is Devontae, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. On God, when I seen this, because I didn't see the announcement at first, I was reading the comments on another wrestling video, and someone brought up the fact that Cody Rhodes, I'm sorry, Freudian slip there. Bro, this man said in the comment section, Tony tonight is promoting Dustin Rhodes versus Samoa Joe in the title eliminator. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, nah, this can't be true. Tony isn't embarrassing himself this hard, right? He ain't just gonna blatantly put himself out there as a person who's just blatantly ripping off WWE, right? He's not actually doing that on the same week as WrestleMania, right? He's not doing that. So I'm like, let me go look at this. Let me go look this up real quick. And I shit you not, I typed in AEW tonight to see the lineup. Bruh, tell me why on Twitter I see clear as day right there, Samoa Joe versus Dustin Rhodes. And I still said to myself, no, this is a parody account. They're making you guys fall for the okie doke. This is not true. And I click on it, and it's coming from the official AEW account. And I'm like, Tony, bro, you're an L magnet. He is just a magnet to L's, bro. He is easy content because he's always doing stupid shit. You can't help but talk about the clown. Not only is he a draw for my channel specifically, but my guy, you just do stupid shit all the time. Even if you weren't a draw, how can you ignore the stupid shit that you do? Every fucking time you look around, he's doing something fucking dumb. On what fucking planet did it make sense to make your company look in a decent light to promote a Rhodes versus a Samoan for a title opportunity on the same week as the Rhodes and the Samoan in WWE wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania? Why would you embarrass yourself like that? Why would you just blatantly, because look, we all know in the end of the day that AEW capitalizes on WWE. We know that. They're their biggest draw. Whether you're talking about the release superstars that they always have to get their sloppy seconds over. Whether you're talking about them using footage. Bro, they're literally using CM Punk to draw for their show tonight. And he doesn't work for the company. Tony, bruh, there comes a point in time when you really need to look in the mirror, when you really need to stare at that person in the mirror. You have to ask yourself, are you cut out for this? Because here's my thing. There was a part of me contemplating whether or not I wanted to make so many videos on Tony Khan anymore. Because yeah, even though he's a draw for my channel, there is a part of me that sort of kind of feels bad because it's like everybody's dogpiling on the man, right? Including me. And the last thing I want to do, and the last thing I really want to contribute to is dogpiling. I said that before the releases. I said that to myself before the CM Punk thing dropped and he announced that he was going to release the videotape. And just lately, he's just dropping L after L. He's responding to WWE talent by releasing his own talent because they criticize how he actually operates as a boss. We've proven this already. Go back in the archives. You can look this up on my videos. He's making excuses for those released talents and completely contradicting his original rhetoric, which went directly at WWE when it didn't need to be that way. It didn't need to go down that way, bruh. You put that onus on yourself, and now it's coming back to bite you in the ass because of another WWE wrestler who criticized you, who's probably not even thinking about your crazy ass right now. Then you go even further by promoting a match that is clearly trying to capitalize off of the success of your competitor. Why would you do that? Like, just optically, why would you do that? Is that not even remotely embarrassing to you? Some kind of shame. Some kind of shame. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's go back in the past for a second. If Vince McMahon blatantly, or even Eric Bischoff, blatantly, not making fun, not a parody, not mocking each other like the Billionaire Test skits or anything like that. I mean, going out of their way to blatantly take what WWE is doing as a concept and then use it for their programming. Like, what would that make of WCW? How would WWE look if each other's competitors actually went out of their way to blatantly rip off the other storyline, to blatantly rip off a match concept? And even worse, if they did it when they were in a down period versus their competitor on the upswing, and then they try to capitalize off their competitor. I think WCW, even in their dying days in 99 and 2000, I don't remember them trying to blatantly rip off WWE like that. Maybe they have, and maybe it's slipping my mind right now. But that just comes, and let's just say hypothetically they did do that. I'm pretty sure people like Tony Khan on forums were the first ones to call that shit out. You want to bet? You want to bet? And that's even considering the fact that they even did that. I can't, off the top of my head, WWE, I know they've never done that because Vince has too much pride for that kind of shit. But off the top of my dome, I can't remember WCW, even in their dying days, say like in late 99 going forward, ever going out of their way to blatantly rip off. They've done embarrassing things, but they have never taken something that WWE outright did and then did it for themselves. This is, I remember back in, I think it was like actually the first episode of the whole TNA WWE war thing that was going on back in like 2010. I still remember when I watched it, right, live, because I was 17 at the time. I still remember this. And I remember at the end of the show, right, and the very, very end of the show, they had Kurt Angle and AJ Styles, or was it Kurt Angle and Hulk Hogan, I think, recreate the Montreal Screwjob. I mean, take for take. I think Kurt spat in Hogan's face. They went that far. And I remember cringing like I've never cringed before. That was 14 years ago. I remember cringing so motherfucking hard at the idea that TNA will embarrass themselves. So it looked like a fucking parody, honestly. But they were dead ass serious. That was one of the first instances that made me question whether or not I'm going to continue watching TNA at that point in time. That was one of the first instances that was such a huge, huge turnoff. And to see AEW just fucking do it with a match is just, I wouldn't say it's as bad or as bad, because that, I don't think anything will ever top that. That was just, that actually hurt damn near with how fucking cringe that was. But goddamn it, if this isn't one step below that. And you know the worst part about it? You want to hear the worst part about it? All these things that AEW is trying to draw from WWE was in your company at one point. You had Cody and Punk at the same time on your roster not even 2 years ago. All you had to do was put the spotlight on them. And you could have had all this attention. And you could have been the one capitalizing off of all this. But you let Cody go. You let Cody make dumb dick decisions for himself, by taking him out of the world title contention, not even a full fucking 2 months within your company. You did that. You allowed Cody Rhodes to feel like he was a nobody in your company when you brought in people like Punk, when you put people over him, when you could have reassured him, no, guy, you helped build my company. I see the promise within you. Let me actually accommodate you. CM Punk is a whole story unto itself. There were so many missed opportunities that you had to make sure that a situation that happened at WrestleMania could have happened at an All Out, or an All In, or a Double or Nothing, or Full Gear, or a Revolution. You had that opportunity. And you let it go to wayside. Why? Because you were so busy trying to promote dream matches. You were so busy trying to promote the newest New Japan Pro Wrestling match on your episode of Dynamite that occurred already probably 13 years ago on some obscure ass fucking indie show. You were so busy trying to get over your E-Fed rather than actually promoting a legitimate business. CM Punk said it best. You are not in the business of making money. You are in the business of 5-star matches. So now when it's now coming to roost, your chickens are now coming to roost, right? Is that how the saying goes? I'm probably saying it wrong. Now that it's now coming to bite you in the ass, you have no one to blame but yourself, homie. So many opportunities to not only grow, but to really put yourself into a position where you could be the number one company, or at the very least, you could be a competitive company. Understand that everything that's happening currently with WWE at the moment, all that was predicated on what happened with the Bloodline story. You had wrestlers who you could have acted. The Cody Rhodes story, that could have been a thing, right? CM Punk battling up against Hangman Adam Page and the rest of the Bucks, and you building off of the stuff that happened in 2022. And here's another part too, because maybe Tony Khan wanted to do all that. Let's just hypothetically say Tony Khan wanted to take advantage of the CM Punk stuff. Let's just say hypothetically Tony Khan was okay with the Cody Rhodes stuff as far as accommodating him to make him feel better, to keep him in the company. You know what? I'm actually willing to bet that is probably the case. Maybe Tony wanted to make sure Punk and Rhodes were happy. Who are the common denominators as to why Cody Rhodes and CM Punk aren't there, based off of the rumors and innuendo we've heard over the past few years? Could it be the Bucks? And could it be Kenny O'Fucking-Mega? More particular, the Bucks. Because you leave it up to Kenny Omega, it looks like he's willing to do business with either guy. It's really the Young Bucks when you really sit back and think about it. Who's the one that Cody Rhodes wanted to separate locker rooms for because of disagreements? Huh? And you tell me, with those disagreements, going off of context of what we heard with CM Punk, who's most likely the ones who didn't want to come to the table to actually work things out with a Cody Rhodes, with a Brandy Rhodes, who, by the way, if you guys don't know this, had heat with Kenny Omega over the women's division, which probably could have been something else that stemmed off of Cody Rhodes not having anything to want to deal with them. But at the same time, probably wanted to do business. But guess what? He couldn't do business because leave it up to people like the Young Bucks, the same ones who didn't want to come back to the table with CM Punk. Are we now starting to see a pattern right here? Bruh. So even if you were to look at a situation where, oh, well, Tony Khan didn't do anything wrong, Devontae, don't you understand that him copying off of WWE, he has no choice, even though he had every fucking, let me stress this, every fucking path to make everything about all the superstars that left this company to make the other company bigger. The common denominator in all this, even if you don't want to say it's all Tony Khan's fault, it's the people that Tony Khan keeps letting get away with this. I don't know if the Young Bucks have like a blackmail on Tony. I don't know if Tony Khan did something to some women and the Young Bucks, they got a snapshot of that shit. I don't know if Tony Khan was caught doing some type of stuff that he shouldn't be doing and the Young Bucks happen to have something on him. I don't know. But it kind of seems like every situation that occurs when it comes to AEW always stems off of the Young Bucks having something to do with it, or their friends attached to them at the fucking hip. They're the problems. They're the ones that are hurting your company, Tony Khan. They're the ones putting you into a position where you have to make embarrassing decisions, such as doing something like this. Because I gotta say, looking at something like this and me doing something like this, it hurt my pride. It really would hurt my fucking pride to blatantly go out of my way to have not one, but two of WWE's biggest draws on my show, on top of having everything else probably filled out with all the release talent that I brought in from their company, with other little mixed things in between, most likely being brought from other people's companies also, because I'm that bad of a promoter, I'm that bad of a booker, I'm that bad at creative, that I had 5 years to get my fucking talent over, and I haven't gotten over one fucking talent. Actually, I take that back. The one talent that I did get over is on the shelf, and he's going to be gone within a year's time if he stays underneath my thumb any fucking longer, when he sees how much money, how much influence, how much fun the other guys are having on the different show. Because, mark my words, seeing how Tony Khan is operating right now, seeing how emotional he's getting, how responsive he is, how fucking insanely self-aware he is. or unself-aware, lacking of self-awareness, if you will, you gotta best believe that MJF is seeing all this shit and taking notes for when the time comes, when his contract comes up. God damn it, if Tony Khan ain't backing up the Brinks truck for that guy's contract, there's gonna be some motherfucking problems going forward into 2024 if he ain't signed a new contract already. Which he probably did, but let's just hypothetically presume that he didn't. You think all this stuff is making yourself look credible? The release of a superstar is because of what another wrestler said? Looking at the competition and seeing what they're doing underneath the guise of another leader? Currently right now, that's not Vince McMahon, who actually favors people of MJF's stature, who most likely will use him in order to rub it within Tony Khan's face. And now, and he's super young on top of that. He's... And like I said, in the end of the day, and I'll end it with this. I try my very, very best to be as charitable as I can to a guy like Tony Khan. I try to see things from his point of view. I try to look at things and say to myself, damn, bruh, what if I was in his shoes? And then I come right back to see him doubling down each time on the same stupid shit that I was saying to myself, this is just a one-time thing. I can understand his perspective. If I was in that guy's shoes, I probably would have made it, even though I'm most likely lying to myself, because I would like to think that I have the common sense to use the veteran talent to help get over the other talent with things not just dealing with wrestling. Because I can tell you right now, the way Shawn Michaels books NXT is exactly how I will go out of my way to make sure my talent gets over with the veterans. That's how I do it on a larger scale. How Shawn is booking NXT, I do that on a larger scale with my other talent to make sure everybody gets over, everybody has a name, everybody is relatable to the audience, everybody has a favorite. That's how I book. Tony Khan, he books in a completely different way. And like I said, I try my best to look at things from a positive standpoint, but all he does is double down on the stupidity, the dumb fuckery of his goddamn stupid ideas. And his ideas is mainly just siphoning, suckling like a fucking parasite off of WWE. And all it does is make you look like a secondhand rate, like a Walmart version of whatever you're... And the worst part about it, because I had to stop myself mid-sentence there. This isn't even the last time we're going to talk about Tony embarrassing himself. We still got tonight for Dynamite when he releases that footage. Because like everybody else is saying, this is negative either way. No matter how you look at this. No matter how you look at it. Either A, you show the footage with CM Punk beating the shit out of you and you look like an incompetent boss. And not literally beating the shit out of, but making you scared, beating the shit out of your wrestlers. You're putting over the WWE talent in that way by saying that they're tougher than your wrestlers. And by the way, if you didn't do anything for real, then you look like a clown saying that you fear for your life. And if you didn't do anything, period, then you're just a fucking liar. And you're doing all this for a ratings ploy, which, by the way, you don't even know for the most part if everybody if anybody outside of wrestling even knows about this, let alone caring about this. It's just for your immediate audience who are already there. So you're really willing to put your company at risk of completely embarrassing themselves for something that won't even fucking probably bring in maybe 900,000. I'm being very generous when saying that. Leave it up to Edge, though. They're the number one best company in the world with the greatest locker room in the world. The locker room so fantastic that half your fucking roster left to go to WWE. The locker room that's so fantastic that you're going out of your way to really showcase them by highlighting WWE's talent as your biggest draw and WWE's concept as another secondhand biggest draw. Congratulations. Oh, and don't forget it. Oh, and I'm sorry. And Edge also with your company. The third biggest. And I'm done after this. 3 of the biggest draws for tonight in Dynamite. Think about this. It's all related to WWE. It's Edge. It's WWE's concept with Samoa Joe going up against Dustin Rhodes. By the way, 2 former WWE talents also. And it's promoting CM Punk. AEW fanboys, that's your leader. That's your boy. And that's what happens when you don't hold people accountable. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword. With that being said, I'll be back later on tonight to embarrass Tony Khan even more. And that's not me embarrassing him. I'm like libs of TikTok. I'm not doing anything. I'm just showing you what you're doing. Fucking Christ. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. Deuces. P. Eyes.